Missouri's Republican-led House of Representatives has decided to vote against banning literal minors, children, from openly carrying firearms on public land without adult supervision. Now, only one Republican voted in favor of the regulation, and the proposal was actually brought forth by a Republican lawmaker, but it's the lone Republican lawmaker who wanted to do the right thing. Now, Democratic Representative Donna Baringer said police in her district asked for the change to stop 14-year-olds walking down the middle of the street in the city of St. Louis carrying AR-15s. Now, if you think that that is an exaggeration, which to be quite honest with you, I initially thought it was, you'd be mistaken. I would like to show you just a screenshot of something that occurred recently. This is graphic 4. Those are teenagers, since they're minors, of course, their faces are blurred out. But they're walking around on public streets, carrying weapons. In this still frame, you'll see one of them pointing a gun at someone's window. And of course, the resident in that home was terrified. But apparently the police can't do anything because in the great state of Missouri, there are no age restrictions in regard to open carry of firearms. And so the lawmaker says, Democratic Representative Donna Baringer said, now they have been emboldened and they are walking around with them until they actually brandish them and brandish them with intent. Our police officers' hands are handcuffed.
Okay, so this is America now. First of all, it applies to all of Missouri. So suburban parts, rural parts, urban parts, it doesn't matter. If you're a kid, you can just grab a weapon, walk around, and that's normal. The rest of the world, just look, because you get gaslit all the time by our politicians and our media that make it seem like it's normal. It's not normal. The rest of the world thinks we're nuts. Nobody lets, first of all, they don't let anybody walk around with guns because it's super dangerous. Guns kill people, right? But second of all, kids, 14-year-olds, have you ever met a 14-year-old? No impulse control at all. I mean, they get into a fight, 14-year-old boys will get into a fight over the silliest things at a moment's notice and will go nuclear with whatever they have, right? And if they're carrying around weapons like this, look, as a nation, we have 100% lost our minds. And by the way, to be fair to us, actually the great majority of us don't want it at all. The federal background checks poll anywhere between 88 to 97% as an example. The assault weapons bans is actually very popular. 2/3 of the country want to ban assault weapons, okay? But we have a lunatic fringe right-wingers that are both corrupt and take money from weapons manufacturers and have lost their minds and belong in mental asylums who are like, oh yeah, you want to give an assault rifle to an assault weapon to a 14-year-old and have him walk around and see if we can agitate him. And they think that's normal. No, you belong in an asylum. And by the way, passed easily, right? The vote was overwhelming. Let the 14-year-olds walk around. Yep. Hopefully they'll kill a whole bunch of people. It'll be great. Idiots in Missouri, total morons. Every Republican that voted for that is a monster.
Well, voted against it because the proposal was to ban minors from open carry in the state of Missouri. And I do want to give the one Republican who proposed this and voted in favor of it some credit. It's State Representative, again, a Republican, Lane Roberts. He's a former Joplin, Missouri police chief and state public safety director. And he's like, yo, this is not a good idea. Now, I also want to read a quote from another Republican lawmaker who does not deserve credit and should be shamed at the idiotic statement he made. So this is Missouri State Representative Tony Lavasco, who says, while it may be intuitive that a 14-year-old has no legitimate purpose, it doesn't actually mean that they're going to harm someone. We don't know that yet. Generally speaking, we don't charge people with crimes because we think they're going to hurt someone. Okay, great. So why do we have any regulations as it pertains to minors, right? Minors as young as 10 should be able to get behind the wheel. We don't know that they're gonna cause a car accident. We don't know that they're gonna drive recklessly. So why have any regulations at all as it pertains to minors?
And by the way, on weapons, why stop it at assault weapons? Why not start handing out grenades to 14-year-olds? By the way, Republicans in Congress, there's one lunatic from Florida who did start handing out grenades. He's like, no, they're inert. They probably won't explode. And luckily he gave it to fellow.
Okay.
I know, exactly. So look, guys, we're pointing out the one Republican that voted the right way, I think over 100 voted the wrong way in Missouri, because whenever we find a Republican legislator in the country that is not insane, like what? Like it's like breaking news. We found one Republican in Missouri that is not a lunatic. Breaking news, breaking news. And by the way, why? Because he's a former police chief. He's like, are you serious? And you know who's complaining about this rule? The cops. Cops are like, you're gonna send us out there with heavily armed teenagers that can just roam around. Are you guys nuts? Is this helping the cops? Does this look like you're in favor of the thin blue line? I don't know anything that endangers cops more than this. How are you gonna disarm these kids? Okay, and by the way, of course, they had to sprinkle in racism, right? They're like, oh yeah, we should be able to carry guns around in white areas and stuff. But for the black areas, they wanted to have an extra prosecutor. So they're like, now remember, we're supposed to let all the white folks go, okay? But for the black areas, if you see him, you know what to do, extra prosecutor. Jesus Christ.
We're just so irresponsible with guns in this country, right? You can be a perfectly reasonable person, like me, who sees the right to bear arms as an important constitutional right that should be regulated. Children should not be running around town with weapons, with guns, with tools that are meant to kill. It just doesn't make any sense.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.